Greetings from Electrically. In this video, we are going to discuss one of the most important topic from power system. Okay, and the name of the topic is types of conductors. Okay, there are various types of conductors that we used in transmission and distribution purpose. Okay, so from exam point of view, this topic is very important. Okay, so we have various types of conductors. For example, solid conductors, right? Then stranded conductors. Okay, then in stranded conductors we have various categories. Okay, in stranded conductor category we have various conductors. That is, first is ACSR conductor, then double AC conductor, right? Then triple AC conductor, then hollow conductor. Like this, we have different types of conductors that we use for transmission and distribution. Okay, but before discussing these types of conductors, we must have a general idea about what is the meaning of conductor. Okay, what is the meaning of conductor? What is the general meaning of conductor? So the meaning of conductor, it is a material. Okay, it is a material, or it is a medium through which charges will flow. Okay, what I'm saying, it is a medium. Conductor is nothing but a medium through which charges will flow. Or else we can say conductor, the definition of conductor can be, it is a material which is having a reach of free electrons. Okay, what I'm saying, it is a material which is having reach of free electrons. Okay, so from power system point of view, not from power system point of view, from physics point of view. Okay, so from physics point of view, we can define a conductor as, it is a material which is having a metallic property. Okay, a material which is having a metallic property can be called as conductor according to physics. Okay, now from being an electrical engineer, we must define conductor from electrical machines point of view also. Okay, so from electrical machines point of view, from electrical machines point of view, we can define a conductor as, it is a piece of wire. It is a piece of wire which is responsible for conversion of energy or conversion of electrical energy. Okay, or we can say conversion of energy only. Okay, why I'm saying this conversion of energy? Because in our electrical machine, what we have magnetic field, and in that magnetic field, we are going to rotate our conductor, and that conductor is nothing but a piece of wire. Okay, if we take a piece of wire and we rotate that piece of wire inside the magnetic field with the help of some external prime mover. For example, in case of generator, we will use external prime mover in order to rotate the conductor inside the magnetic field. So as soon as it rotates in the magnetic field, it will experience what? It will experience changes in flux linkages by cutting the flux line, Okay, and as soon as it cuts the flux lines, an EMF will be induced across the conductor, right? An EMF which is getting induced across that conductor is nothing but electrical quantity, right? We gave mechanical quantity as an input in order to rotate the conductor inside the magnetic field. Okay, and we got output as EMF, and EMF is an electrical quantity. This is how we convert mechanical form of energy into electrical form. That's why I'm saying from electrical machine point of view, we can define conductor as, it is a piece of wire which is responsible for energy conversion from mechanical to electrical in case of generator, and in case of motor, it will be from electrical to mechanical. Okay, so now our main focus will be on power system subject. Okay, so we must define our conductor as per power system point of view also. So from power system point of view, we can define a conductor as, it is a piece of wire. Okay, it's a piece of wire which is responsible for energy transfer. What I'm saying, it is a piece of wire which is responsible for energy transfer from one end to other end. That one end is nothing but from generating stations to load centers. At load centers, there are various types of consumers, right? Household consumers like us, then industrial consumers, then commercial consumers. They will need some electrical energy for utilization purpose, right? So energy is being produced at far end from load centers, and that electrical energy, that produced electrical energy needs to be transferred from generating stations to load center, which are very far away from generating stations. So we will definitely require some medium in between generating stations and load centers, and that medium is nothing but what? Transmission system. And in transmission system we will be having transmission towers. Those transmission towers are also called as pylon structure, pylon. Okay, pylon structures, transmission towers. And on the transmission towers we will lay our conductors. Okay, those piece of wire, those long pieces of wire. Okay, so that long piece of wire is responsible for energy transfer from generating stations to load centers. Okay, this is the definition of or a general discussion of conductor according to physics, according to electrical machines, and from power system point of view. Okay, so according to physics we have according to physics we can define conductor as it is a material which is having metallic properties. Okay, so I have listed, I'm going to list some materials. Okay, materials such as first will be silver. Okay, silver will be definitely having some metallic property, then copper, okay, then gold, and then aluminum. Okay, first will be silver, then copper, then gold, and then aluminum. Okay, now among them silver will be having highest conductivity. On what basis I am saying this? Because in silver number of free electrons are more. Okay, and conductivity of silver or conductivity of any conductor is not only decided based on the number of availability of free electrons. It is not only decided on the basis of free electrons, it is mainly decided by drift velocity. Okay, what is the meaning of drift velocity? Under the influence of electric field, okay, under the influence of electric field intensity, our electrons will move with some velocity. Okay, and that velocity is nothing but what? At which that electrons are moving under the influence of electric field intensity is called as drift velocity. More the drift velocity, more will be the conductivity. Okay, if my drift velocity is more, then conductivity is more. This is sigma. Okay, this represents sigma. Okay, which represents conductivity. Don't get confused between rho and sigma. We have rho. Okay, we have rho which represents resistivity. Okay, which represents resistivity, and we have sigma which represents conductivity. Okay, and which represents conductivity. So more the drift velocity, more will be the conductivity. Why I am saying this? Because more will be the drift velocity. Let me first explain what is the drift velocity. Okay, drift velocity is Vd is equal to mu into electric field intensity. Okay, where E is representing electric field intensity, and this mu is representing mobility of electrons. Okay, mobility of electrons or free electrons. Okay, more the mobility, lesser will be the time. Okay, more the mobility, it means its velocity will be more, that charged particle's velocity will be more, so it will take very less time in order to complete its path. And we know that current is equal to dq by dt, right? Now see what happens here. If my charged particle is moving with more velocity, definitely it will take lesser time in order to complete its path, so our time will get decrease. Okay, as time gets decreased, this current will get increase, right? Because denominator is decreasing, na, so total this function will increase. That is nothing but the current will increase. That's why I am saying if mobility is more, that is nothing but if drift velocity is more, then conductivity will be obviously more. Okay, that's why in silver the drift velocity is highest as compared to copper and gold and aluminum. That's why in terms of conductivity, the rank 1, the first rank goes to silver. In terms of conductivity, second rank goes to copper, not gold. Okay, at second rank we are having copper. Okay, at third rank we are having gold. Okay, and at fourth rank we are having aluminium. Okay, so at first, this is first, second rank, third rank, and fourth rank. Okay, so more the drift velocity, more will be its conductivity, and in silver the drift velocity is the highest among copper, gold, and aluminium. Okay, so remember this point. In exam they will ask this question, that the highest conductivity among silver, copper, gold, aluminium will be having silver. Okay, in silver we will be having highest conductivity. Okay, so we can write here as conductivity of silver, right? Conductivity of silver is highest than conductivity of copper, then conductivity of gold, and then conductivity of aluminium. Okay, now with common sense we can say that due to cost factor, though we are having 4 conductors, silver, gold, aluminium, and copper, but due to cost factor and availability, okay, this this silver and gold we cannot use. This silver and gold we cannot use for our transmission and distribution purpose with some common sense. Okay, so these two materials, so this copper and aluminium have qualified. Okay, they have qualified for our transmission and distribution. Okay, now among aluminium and copper, which conductor or which material we need to choose for our transmission and distribution purpose? Okay, let's discuss this. But before discussing the comparison between aluminium and copper, first we need to discuss, or first we need to have idea on the properties of good conductors. Okay, so give heading as properties of good conductors. Properties of good conductor. See, our main topic is types of conductor only. Okay, solid, ACSR, double AC, triple AC, hollow conductor. But first we need to understand what is the general meaning of conductor and what are the best properties or good properties of a conductor. Okay, on that basis only we can discuss the types of conductor. Okay, so first we need to discuss all this general discussion. Okay, so properties of good conductor. Now the first property our conductor should have, it should be having higher conductivity. It should be having highest conductivity. Okay, now among aluminium and copper will be definitely will be having some advantage in terms of conductivity, because conductivity of copper is more than aluminium. Okay, so this is the first property of good conductor. It should be having highest conductivity. What happens if conductivity is more? If conductivity is more, then resistance will be less. Okay, then resistance will be less. Then as resistance is less in our transmission and distribution line, then obviously the losses which is causing due to resistance, definitely they will get reduced. Okay, so losses will be less. So efficiency of our transmission and distribution will get increased. So this is the first property, that our material should be having highest conductivity. Okay, the second important property is our conductor material should have highest tensile strength. Okay, it should have high tensile strength. Okay, now what is the meaning of this tensile strength? For example, we have two towers. Okay, this is first tower, this is second tower, which are erected on the land. Okay, this is land, and in between to tower we have conductor, right? This is first conductor and this is second conductor. Okay, now this is conductor first and this is second conductor. Okay, now what is the difference between this first and second conductor is, you can see the sag in second conductor is more as compared to first conductor. Why? Because the tensile strength of second conductor is less as compared to first conductor. Okay, so particularly in summer season, due to high temperature, okay, due to high temperature, what happens due to thermal sorry, due to thermal expansion, what happens, conductor gets expand. Okay, if its tensile strength is not good now, it will create more sag will be more. What happens if sag is more, there its mechanical property will get degrade. Okay, its mechanical property or its mechanical strength will get degrade due to thermal expansion. And you can see here the distance between land and conductor gets reduced due to more sag because of less tensile strength. So the effect of earth capacitance get increased. Okay, because of the earth capacitance effect will get increased because of more sag, and because of this earth capacitance effect na, it will create harmful effect on the personnels which are working in the field, which are working near that tower or under that conductors. Okay, it will create harmful effect on their skin, okay, or any living creature which is roaming around that tower or under that conductor. Okay, that's why the tensile strength should be more. Okay, this is the second property in order to get less sag. Okay, this is the second property of good conductor. Now third property is our conductor should have less specific gravity. Okay, conductor should have less specific gravity. If the conductor is having less specific gravity na, the weight of that conductor will be less. Okay, the weight of that conductor will be less. So what is the advantage of having less weight conductor? Because we are laying the conductor on the transmission tower. Okay, so the weight or the stresses which is coming on the tower because of highest weight of conductor, it will get reduced. Okay, so mechanical strength of that tower will get increased. Okay, that's why the good conductor should have less specific gravity. That means its weight should be less. Okay, now third property, it should be available in less cost. So cost should be less. So the first property was it should be having highest conductivity. Second property was it should be having highest tensile strength. Third property was it should be having less specific gravity. Okay, it should be having less specific gravity. And fourth is its cost should be less. Okay, so now with these properties, with these four properties, we will compare our two qualified conductors. Which are those conductors? Aluminium and copper. We have neglected silver and gold because of their cost point of view and availability point of view. Okay, now we will compare aluminium and copper. First we will see advantages of copper over aluminium. Okay, so from properties of a good conductor point of view, we can see the highest conductivity will be having copper. Okay, in copper conductivity will be highest, its tensile strength will be also highest. Okay, so from power system point of view, if we see material wise na, copper will be an ideal conductor for transmission and distribution system. Why? Because copper is definitely having more conductivity than aluminium. right? Copper will be having definitely more conductivity than aluminum, and that is the most one of the most desired property of good conductor, that conductor should be having highest conductivity. Okay, and the tensile strength, okay, and the tensile strength of the copper is also more than aluminum. So first give heading as advantages of copper over aluminum. Okay, advantages of copper over aluminum. First advantage is conductivity is high in copper as compared to aluminum. Sigma is high. Sigma is representing conductivity. Okay, its conductivity is highest than aluminum. Then second property is its tensile strength. Okay, tensile strength of copper is more. Okay, so sag will be more, so the effect of earth capacitance will be less. Okay, and mechanically that conductor will be also stronger. Okay, this is the advantage of copper over aluminum. Okay, now, but though we are having advantages of copper, like it is having highest conductivity and highest tensile strength, though we will not use copper for our transmission and distribution purpose, we will go for aluminum only. Why? Because there are certain disadvantages of copper over aluminum. Now what are those disadvantages? Disadvantages of copper over aluminum. The first disadvantage is copper is having higher weight. It is having high specific gravity. Okay, high weight. The copper is having higher weight than aluminum. Okay, then second is higher cost. Okay, the cost of copper is definitely higher than aluminum. Okay, if I am getting the aluminum at 100 rupees per kg, then the same 1 kg I will get for copper is around 400 to 500 rupees. So 4 times my copper is costlier than aluminum. Okay, so cost is high. Second disadvantage of having copper in the transmission distribution is its cost is high. Then the availability. Okay, copper is having very limited source on our earth. Okay, so the availability of copper is very less as compared to aluminum. So in future also our in electrical machines we use copper material. Okay, but due to its limited availability, our electrical machines will get our electrical machine winding will get shift on aluminum only. But it will not be a pure aluminum, it will be an alloy of aluminum. Okay, which will be having with some treatment process now we can achieve the same conductivity as of copper for aluminum. Okay, so in future there are chances that we will shift for aluminum inside electrical machines also. Okay, third is non-availability of copper. Okay, so because of these disadvantages, we will not go for copper material for our transmission and distribution, though our copper material is having more conductivity and tensile strength. Okay, now let's see the advantages of aluminum over copper. Okay, let's see advantages of copper. No, not advantages of aluminum over copper. Sorry, advantages of aluminum over copper. Okay, so in power system point of view, aluminum has replaced copper as a most common material from transmission and distribution point of view. Okay, because there are certain advantages of aluminum over copper. Now the first advantage of having aluminium for our transmission and distribution instead of copper is its abundant availability. The resources of aluminium on the earth's surface is more than copper. Okay, so the availability is highest for aluminium, so it is available in more quantity. Availability or abundant availability. Okay, this is the first advantage of copper over first advantage of aluminium over copper. Okay, aluminium over copper. Now the second advantage is the cost of aluminium is 1/4 of cost of copper. Okay, so the cost of aluminium is around 1/4 times or 1/5 times of cost of copper. Okay, cost of aluminium is 1/4 times of cost of copper. Now the third advantage is the specific gravity of aluminium is less, so its weight is less as compared to copper. Okay, less weight than copper. So from power system point of view, we can see aluminium has replaced copper. Okay, aluminium has replaced copper as a most common material from transmission and distribution point of view because of these advantages. Okay, because it is available in more quantity on earth's surface. Cost is also very less as compared to copper. Okay, and its weight is also less. Okay, but there are certain disadvantages of aluminium also over copper. Now what are those disadvantages? Disadvantages of aluminium over copper. Now what are the disadvantages? The first disadvantage of aluminium over copper is the tensile strength of aluminium is less as compared to copper. Okay, tensile strength is less than copper. Okay, this is the first disadvantage. Okay, and the second disadvantage is of aluminium over copper is the conductivity of copper. The conductivity of aluminium is less as compared to copper. Okay, so the conductivity of aluminium is less as compared to copper. Conductivity is less, or sigma is less than copper. But though we have less tensile strength for aluminium and conductivity is less, but still we will go for aluminium for our transmission and distribution purpose because of its availability. Okay, it is available in more quantity, right? It is available in more quantity. Its cost is less. Its cost is less, and it is also having less weight than copper. Okay, there is one more advantage of aluminium over copper. For example, we know that conductivity of copper is obviously more than conductivity of aluminium. Okay, that is that conductivity of copper is approximately equal to conductivity of copper is approximately equal to 1.6 times. Okay, approximately it is 1.6 times of conductivity of aluminium. Now for the same operating voltage, and the same resistance of copper and aluminium, we can write that, we can conclude one more thing, that for the same resistance, our copper is equal to our aluminium. We know that resistance, the formula of resistance is what? Rho L by A, right? And this formula can also be written as length upon sigma A, because rho and sigma are what? Reciprocal to each other. Okay, one is resistivity and other is conductivity. Both are inversely proportional to each other or reciprocal of each other. So from this formula, we can write our copper as length of copper divided by sigma of copper into area of copper, which is equal to length of aluminium divided by sigma of aluminium into area of aluminium. Now instead of this sigma aluminium, on the place of sigma aluminium, from this relation we can write as length upon sigma copper divided by 1.6, right, according to this conclusion, okay, into area of aluminium. Now after rearranging of all these terms, we can get area of aluminium for area of cross section for aluminium for the same operating voltages will be equal to or approximately equal to 1.6 times of area of copper. Okay, so this is advantageous or disadvantageous. For the same operating voltages, we require more cross section area for aluminum conductor if we go for aluminum conductor as compared to copper conductor. So this is advantageous or disadvantageous. This is obviously advantageous from corona point of view, right? From occurrence of corona point of view, because we know that corona, okay, we know that corona will be less if cross section area is high. If cross section area of the conductor is high then on the surface of conductor the gradient of electric field intensity will be less. So if gradient of electric field intensity is less, then the chances of occurrence of corona will get reduced. So this is the advantage for us as per corona point of view, occurrence of corona point of view. Okay, so this is advantageous because we know that gradient, okay, what I said, gradient is inversely proportional to size of conductor. Okay, gradient is inversely proportional to size of conductor. So if size of conductor is more, as in our case aluminum will be having more cross section area than copper, so its gradient decreases. Gradient at the surface of aluminum conductor gets decreased. Okay, so the chances of occurrence of corona will get decreased if we use aluminum over copper for same operating voltage. Okay, so the conclusion we can draw from this, from this statement as aluminum conductor is having more size, right? Aluminum conductor is having more size, so for same operating voltage, for the same operating voltage, the gradient of electric field intensity will be less. Okay, so the G will be less. This G is nothing but gradient of electric field intensity. Okay, if G is less, then occurrence of chances of corona will get reduced. Okay, so corona will be less. So corona will be less. Okay, don't worry about what is corona and all that. We have separate lecture for corona. Okay, in the further classes we are going to discuss what is the corona. We have separate lecture on corona. Okay, from exam point of view also, that corona topic is also very important. Okay, in further lectures we will discuss it, don't worry about it. Okay, but for time being, just remember this conclusion. If that conclusion is aluminum conductor is having more size as compared to copper for the same operating voltage, so G will be less, the gradient of electric field intensity will be less because size of area of cross section is more for aluminum. So chances of occurrence of corona at the surface of aluminum conductor gets reduced for the same operating voltage. Okay, remember this conclusion. This conclusion is very important from exam point of view. Okay, now we have created a perfect foundation in order to understand different types of conductors. Okay, now give heading as types of conductors. Types of Now we have various types of conductors. For example, first is solid conductor. Okay, first is solid conductor. Second is stranded conductors. Okay, stranded conductors. And in the category of stranded conductors, we have ACSR conductor, then double AC conductor, then triple AC conductor. Okay, then triple AC conductor, and then we have one more category called hollow conductor. Okay, hollow conductor. So these are the three main types of conductors: solid conductor, stranded conductor, and hollow conductor. Our main focus will be on solid conductors and stranded conductors. Okay, in ACSR, what is the meaning of ACSR? Abbreviation of ACSR. It is aluminum conductor, steel reinforced. Okay, it is aluminum conductor, steel reinforced. What is the meaning of double AC conductor? It is all aluminum conductor. Okay, then triple AC is all aluminum alloyed conductor. Okay, all aluminum alloyed conductor. Now one by one, let's discuss what are the types of conductor. First, give heading as solid conductor. Okay, solid conductor. First and foremost thing for solid conductor, it is not preferred for transmission and distribution. Why it is not preferred for transmission and distribution? Because if current rating increases, right, if current rating increases, then we need to increase the cross section area of conductor also, because we know that current carrying capacity of any conductor is directly proportional to its size. Okay, if size, area of cross section is more, then we can carry more amount of current. Okay, so what happens if current rating of our transmission network increases, then we need to increase the size of the conductor. Okay, so as we increase the size of conductor, that conductor becomes more rigid. Okay, that conductor becomes more rigid. Okay, we can't bend that conductor, its flexibility get lost. Okay, now tell me one thing, we require our conductor at our transmission system, and we manufacture that conductor somewhere else or in other states also. Okay, so we need to bring that conductor, okay, we need to bring that conductor from that manufacturing hub to our transmission site. Okay, what happens, क्या होगा अगर हमने उसका साइज अगर बढ़ा दिया तो वो क्या हो जाएगा, रिजिड हो जाएगा. Okay, so its flexibility will get lost. Okay, so now in order to transport that solid conductor from that manufacturing hub to our transmission site, हम लोग कैसे लाते हैं, ट्रक्स में लाते हैं, राइट, ट्रक्स में लाते हैं. ऐसा एक बंडल रहता है, उसको उसमें क्या करते हैं हम लोग, रैप करते हैं ऐसा राउंड. ओके, कंडक्टर को. अगर कंडक्टर की रिजिडिटी अगर ज़्यादा होगी तो मुझे एक बात बताइए, क्या वो रोलर के अंदर वो रैप हो पाएगा ऐसा सर्कुलर फॉर्म में? नहीं हो पाएगा, क्योंकि उसकी रिजिडिटी बहुत ज़्यादा है. सो द ट्रांसपोर्टेशन बिकम्स इम्पॉसिबल फॉर सॉलिड कंडक्टर. ओके, दिस इज द फर्स्ट रीजन दैट वी डोंट गो फॉर solid conductor for our transmission and distribution purpose. Its transportation becomes more like impossible. Okay, now the second reason, okay, so the second reason that we don't prefer solid conductor for a transmission and distribution is the skin effect inside the solid conductor is highest. Okay, now what is the skin effect? Our next discussion is on skin effect. Okay, before discussing ACSR conductor, we will definitely discuss skin effect first. Okay, so the skin effect inside the solid conductor is highest, and from transportation point of view, it is to carry the solid conductors from a manufacturing hub to a transmission site, it becomes impractical. Okay, so I can write in solid conductor that how does solid conductor looks. For example, this is cross section area. Okay, and this is how our solid conductor will look like. Okay, this is our solid conductor. Okay, we don't prefer we don't prefer solid conductors for transmission and distribution purpose. Why? Because if current rating of that conductor of that transmission system increases, then we need to increase the area of cross section of that conductor. Okay, so after increasing the area of cross section of solid conductor, its rigidity gets increased and its flexibility will get lost. So the transportation becomes impractical. Okay, this is the first reason that's we don't recommend or we don't use solid conductor for transmission and distribution. Transportation becomes impractical. Okay, and the second and the foremost reason that we don't go for a solid conductor is the skin effect inside the solid conductor is highest. Okay, skin effect is highest in solid conductor. What is a skin effect? That is our next topic. Okay, before discussing ACSR or standard conductor, first we need to discuss the skin effect, the concept of skin effect. Okay, solid conductors have highest skin effect, but there are certain applications where we go for solid conductors. For example, our neutral. Okay, in transformer, in generator, we have neutral point. Okay, that neutral wire is nothing but what? It is solid conductor. For earthing purpose also we use solid conductor. So these are the application of solid conductors. Okay, for earthing and neutral. Okay, for earthing and neutral connection we go for solid conductors. Applications of solid conductors is for earthing and neutral connection we use solid conductors. Okay, and one more feature of the solid conductor is the tensile strength of solid conductor is highest among all conductors. Okay, as compared to ACSR, double AC, triple AC and all standard conductor, the tensile strength of solid conductor is highest than standard conductors. Okay, the tensile strength of solid conductors is highest among all types of conductors, Okay, so this is about solid conductors. Okay, remember the advantages and disadvantages. Okay, and applications of solid conductors. Okay, now in next lecture we will discuss first the skin effect. Okay, from exam point of view, that skin effect is very important. Okay, and in order to understand further topics also, skin effect and proximity effect both are very much important. Okay, so in the next lecture we will discuss first skin effect, then we will discuss proximity effect. So with this note I will conclude the lecture here. In next lecture we will see the concept of skin effect, what is skin effect, what is skin depth, and then proximity effect. Okay, and after having the proper foundation of skin effect and proximity effect, we will go for standard conductor configuration, double AC, triple AC, ACSR configuration, then hollow conductors. Okay, so thank you.